think I had the docs on this side.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, protects you.
Well, I went into work and my buddy had it.
Right. So today we're going to talk about, basically on Monday we kind of laid out our overall conceptual thesis of escaping side control. We talked about the idea that it's easier for them, it requires less movement for them to escape than it does for them to stop us from escaping than it does for us to escape, right? And think of it like the drill.
But they use the escape and they just got one, two.
Exactly. So, and you think about the drill we just did, right? If we didn't have, say, the re-roll, if they drive forward, all they have to do, you shrink away, they're just, okay, let's drive you back down. So it's fundamentally not super savvy to build your jiu-jitsu around, and particularly escaping bad positions, around just launching one escape and hoping that's going to beat the Hail Mary. Because they have to do less work to stop you. So, again, we tie our stuff together, and we talked about this idea of trapping them on the lateral foot, right? So the overall thing we want to build everything, every mechanical movement we use in this semester wants to build around that idea. Chaining our escapes together, trapping limiting their options. In this instance, ideally limiting them on that lateral foot, right? If he can either try to control my hips or he can try to control my shoulders. Makes sense, right? Today we're going to focus on the first of those two techniques, those two primary movements, the basic hip escape, so what we've been practicing pretty much ad nauseam today. So I want to talk about, for starters, how we can get to that framed position, and then I want to just go over the mechanics of that escape. So Jim, I'll grab you, and then right. So just to lay it out, where he could be, am I still on that camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
A little bit, then.
Production values.
There you go.
So, what Jim would be doing here to really control me is this arm's going to go right under my head, and he has this arm under my armpit, his chest is on top of my chest, and he's now flattening me out, right? This sucks. This is not where we want to be. This is the bad spot, right? There's a couple of things we have to understand about this. Number one, it's going to be hard to just get my arms on the inside, right? If I just try to, don't let me get my hands in, if I just try to fish my hands in, obviously, that's going to be very difficult. The other thing is, the farther my elbows come away from my body, the more in danger they are, right? Because they're attacking this elbow would go over my head, he catches this Americana, right? And there's all sorts of different, awful things that he can do to me. The second my elbows start coming in, right? So, I can try to get this on this way, but look at how far my elbow is away from my body, right? Not technically sound. The same thing goes on this other side. If I start trying to reach up and try to bring my elbow out wide, if he slides this knee over my bicep, well, now this thing ain't coming back in, right? Now I'm in a real bad position. So we have to basically create space without creating space. That's the conundrum here. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use counter pressure, right? So the first thing I want to do is I want to take my hand on the side, so the arm closest to the leg. I'm going to take my forefingers and reach it inside the bicep here. You see that? That can be kind of hard sometimes to get it in there, but we have a thing we're going to use to make it easier. Like if you're holding really tight, Jim, and really put that shoulder pressure on my face. Right. Yeah. No, you leave it. Right. So he's got this pressure, so it's going to be hard to get this forefingers in here, right? So I'm going to start taking my head to the other side to get that in there. So I'm creating counter pressure as I'm trying to wedge this in this way, going towards his feet. I'm bringing my head towards his head. From here, I want to keep everything pinched in tight, like my hand really clamped in there, and I'm going to rotate my elbow under his midsection to open up that space. Feel that? Like, go ahead and lock your hands together. Just by doing that, as I start doing here, I start breaking apart that grip. This hand is going to shave inside to get in this. And from here, I can start getting those frames in. Right? So I have this forearm blade, and now once I'm here, I start pushing him towards my hips. It should be hard for him to pin me back down. Right? And just kind of stay here. Does that make sense? Yeah? So I'll do that again, Jim. I'm here. So again, I'm in this position, my arms are out of position. I need to keep my elbows in tight. I need to keep myself safe first. Then, I bring my head kind of towards his head to open this window, and my forefingers come inside this bicep. Sometimes you don't need to do that. Sometimes it'll go right in there, but sometimes it won't. So, I bring my head towards his head, and And then again, I'm keeping everything clamped and tight. I'm almost like thinking about, imagine I was gonna rotate my elbow here towards my opposite shoulder, like underneath of him, like an uppercut or something. To open up that window. From here, this thing circles in, and sometimes I'll even just double up on this shoulder to just clear my shoulder and get that position, right? Once I get that, we get to our basic hip escape, right? So I'm here, so I have the bicep pinned, I have the forearm against the neck. I'm here. What I'm gonna do, foot plant wide, bridge, turn my hips over, shoulder goes back. I'm gonna shoot my hips away, and we're done. We'll do that again on the other side. The side control, right? Hand goes over, grabbing the sides, and I'm rotating that elbow underneath. From here, hand circles. So you see again, I'm not like bringing it out, trying to get over his head. I'm kind of bringing it down and inside. From here, hand circles in, and I get this. Once I have this, I'm pushing him towards my hips. My knee stays connected to his body. Bridge, turn my hips over, shoulder tucks back. This is where that sidewinder movement can come in, because if he tries to pin me back down, I'm going to keep stripping. Hip goes away, and rotate it. You want to see that, Jim?
I figured it out.
Okay. Cool. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Any questions? All right, let's partner up, work it out. 1, 2, 3.